It is incredibly easy to look at a soap opera's casting sheet and see nothing but random puzzle pieces scattered across the table. Most viewers assume that a sudden influx of returning characters and fresh faces is just the network trying to spice up the summer canvas with some lighthearted drama. But if you ask me, that is a trap. I am convinced that two seemingly unrelated casting announcements are actually the exact same explosive storyline hiding in plain sight, waiting to detonate everything we know about the current canvas. We are not just looking at a summer reshuffle. We are looking at the foundation of a massive psychological thriller. Let us look at the facts as they have been presented to us. We recently learned that Kelly is stepping into the role of Serena, bringing the legacy character back to town to apparently help Lucy with a corporate power struggle at Deception. At the exact same time, we got the news that Caden is taking over the role of Scout, who has just been rapidly aged into a teenager. On paper, these two events have absolutely zero to do with each other. One is a fashion industry boardroom battle, and the other is just standard soap opera aging to create new teenage. They exist in completely different orbits. But this is where it gets interesting. What if Scout being aged up right as Serena arrives is not a coincidence at all? What if Scout is the only person capable of uncovering a massive, terrifying secret that connects both of their lives? My theory is bold, and it might sound a little crazy at first, but bear with me. I do not think the woman coming to town is Serena at all. I think she is Sam. Yes, Sam, who we all firmly believe is dead and buried. I believe we are about to witness the ultimate deception. I know that sounds completely unhinged at first glance. Sam is gone, right? We all grieved her. But, guys, we are talking about Port Charles. We are talking about a town where the WSB operates like a shadow government with an unlimited budget for sci-fi level deception and zero moral oversight. Over the years, we have seen brain mapping. We have seen memory transfers. We have seen absolute miracles of plastic surgery and facial reconstruction. If the WSB needed to pull Sam out of a fatal situation, save her life, and completely erase her identity for a covert operation, they absolutely have the technology to do it. You might wonder, why use Serena as the alias? Think about it logically from an intelligence perspective. Serena has been gone for years. She is a legacy character, meaning she has a built-in, believable reason to return to town and interact with major players, like Lucy. However, she has been off-screen long enough that nobody is going to question if she looks a little different, sounds a little different, or has developed new mannerisms. It is the absolute perfect cover identity. The WSB could easily reconstruct Sam to look like Serena, giving her a bulletproof alias to walk right back into the lives of the people she loves without raising a single red flag. Let us anchor this wild theory to something we are actually watching play out right now. Look at Jason. Since he came back from his WSB captivity, he has been acting entirely out of character. He is walking away from the mob. He is distancing himself from the violent life that he has fiercely defended for decades. He is suddenly making Danny his absolute top priority to the point of completely upending his entire existence and turning his back on his oldest loyalties. Most people in town just assume the WSB traumatized him into wanting a quiet, safe life. But what if there is a much deeper, more heartbreaking layer to his transformation? What if Jason knows? During his time being held and manipulated by the WSB, Jason could have easily discovered that Sam was alive, recovering, and being surgically transformed into Serena. He might even be under strict, lethal orders from someone incredibly powerful like Z to never reveal the truth, lest he put Sam in immediate mortal danger. Jason is the ultimate secret keeper, and if keeping his mouth shut keeps Sam breathing, he would take that secret to his grave. If Jason knows that the mother of his child is walking around town wearing another woman's face, unable to be a true mother to Danny or Scout, it completely recontextualizes his sudden, desperate need to be father of the year. He is not just trying to make up for lost time. He is trying to prove to Sam, who is watching from afar, trapped in the guise of Serena, that he is finally a safe bet. He wants to show her that if they ever manage to break this WSB programming or blow this cover, they can actually be a real functioning family. He is cleaning up his act for an audience of one. Now, let us bring Scout back into the equation. Why age her up right at this exact moment? We have watched the writers use this rapid aging tactic before. Remember when Jocelyn, Cameron, and Spencer were suddenly aged into teenagers? It was never just about giving them high school relationship drama. It was about making them active, intelligent participants in adult storylines. A child cannot investigate a massive federal conspiracy. A child just cries when they miss their mother and accepts the lies adults tell them. A smart, independent, grieving teenage girl, however, she can do a lot of damage to a carefully constructed lie. A teenage Scout is the ultimate wild card in the WSB's flawless plan. While everyone else in town is distracted by corporate sabotage at Deception, hospital board politics, or mob wars, Scout is going to be the one quietly observing this new version of Serena. Teenagers are incredibly perceptive, especially when it comes to the adults who surround their family. Scout will inevitably start to notice the tiny, imperceptible things that the adults overlook. A specific way Serena crosses her arms when she is frustrated. A familiar cadence in her voice when she gets angry. The way she instinctively looks at Danny or Jason with a warmth and sorrow that a distant business associate shouldn't possess. A specific habit, a phrase, or a lingering glance that triggers a deeply buried memory of Sam. Piece by piece, Scout is going to put together a puzzle that even the most seasoned detectives in town are completely blind to. Now, I have to stop and argue against my own brain for a second, because I know how deep down the rabbit hole I am going. Am I just projecting my desperation to have Sam back onto a completely innocent casting choice? It is entirely possible that Kelly is just playing Serena to give Lucy a much-needed ally in the boardroom, plain and simple. It is also entirely possible that Jason's trauma from Ross and the WSB simply made him realize life is too short to die in a warehouse shootout. Maybe Scout is just being aged up so she can rebel against her family. Sometimes a soap opera recast is just a recast with no hidden agenda. But then I look at the sheer volume of WSB-related chaos happening right now, and I cannot accept the simple explanation. We have Ross orchestrating massive global threats and cold fusion plots. We have Jocelyn making secret deals with Z to clear Jason. The WSB is pulling every single string in this town right now. To introduce a legacy character and age up a legacy child right in the middle of this intelligence agency crossfire feels way too deliberate. The writers are setting a massive stage, and they are putting all the key players in position for a devastating reveal. Imagine the absolute cinematic drama of the eventual confrontation. Imagine Scout, armed with a mountain of circumstantial but undeniable evidence, cornering Jason in the boathouse. She realizes that Serena is her mother. But worse, she realizes that Jason knew the entire time. The betrayal a teenage girl would feel realizing her father let her grieve, let her cry over a grave, while her mother was standing right across the room. That is pure Emmy-winning emotional devastation. It would be a scene for the history books. Jason is uniquely unequipped to handle teenage emotional warfare. He can take a bullet without flinching. He can survive a WSB black site. But facing the wrath of a daughter who knows he lied about her mother's very existence, that would break him completely. Scout confronting Jason would be the exact catalyst needed to blow this entire WSB operation wide open. She would force his hand, making him choose between the safety of the WSB's forced silence and the trust of his children. And what about Sam herself? If she's trapped in Serena's life, does she even know who she really is? Has she been completely brainwashed by the WSB? Or is she playing along with her full memories intact to protect Danny and Scout from a lethal threat we haven't even seen yet? If she has her memories, every single interaction with her children must be absolute psychological torture. If she doesn't, then Scout's relentless investigation might be the very thing that triggers her true identity to finally break through the programming. This is exactly the kind of storytelling that makes us tune in decade after decade. It is not just about the cheap shock value of a face swap or a fake death. It is about the profound emotional devastation of a family separated by invisible walls, living in the exact same town but unable to touch. It is about a father desperately trying to clean up his violent life for a reunion he isn't even allowed to promise his kids. It is about a daughter's intuition cutting through the lies of the world's most powerful intelligence agents. Of course, we will have to wait and see how the summer unfolds. There is no official confirmation that the WSB has worked their dark magic on Sam, or that Serena is anything more than the corporate ally she claims to be. But the pieces are moving on the board. The teenage daughter is in play. The reformed enforcer is guarding a heavy secret. And a familiar stranger is walking into town. If Scout starts asking the right questions, the truth is going to tear this town apart. The only question left is, who will be left standing when the dust settles?
Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and comment on the GH Spoilers Daily channel.